The Antebellum Educational Reform by Sonia and Martha Ternashenko. Prior to the 1800s, education wasn't considered crucial to one's life. Only a few states supported education, for example, Massachusetts. Sometimes people were educated at homes, not at schools. In addition, prior to the 1800s, if anyone went to school, it was usually mostly males. Females' education was considered secondary to males, so females rarely attended. The education reform was sparked by unhappiness with education by society. Many individuals wanted better education in schools. In addition, new ideas flourished about how poor kids could escape poverty and become good citizens if they were educated. Horace Mann is considered the father of American public schools. Mann advocated ideas for better and longer schooling, which caused funding from the government through taxes for schooling. Mann's ideas were very effective because the government still financially supports education today. Mary Lyon also revolutionized females' education by opening the first women's college. This allowed women to have the opportunity to pursue a higher education. Her school inspired many women to think about education and pursue it. Gallatin and Howe were two men that improved schooling for people with disabilities. Gallatin developed a method to educate people with hearing disabilities, while Howe helped the visually impaired learn. Both of these men impacted America by spreading their techniques during this reform and allowing more of the visually and hearing impaired to learn. So how did these changes occur? As individuals such as Mann advocated for better public schools, longer terms, and more criteria, societies agreed with him. More people accepted education, which caused the government to fund education through taxes. The results of this change were positive and negative. As more people were educated, intellectual ideas spread and society advanced. A negative result of this movement was that since more people were educated, schoolhouses became bigger, which meant more money was being spent on these buildings. The antebellum educational movement impacted abolition because it spread ideas about how people were equal and should be treated right. This movement also impacted prisons and mental health institutions because more people began to realize that the current treatment of prisoners or mentally impaired people were morally wrong. This movement impacted politics because as more suffrage spread, the elite wanted people to be educated so that they would make the right decision when voting. Education was impacted by labor, especially by the Lowell girls. After the girls worked in the mills, they moved west and wanted to be educated. This caused a bigger need for education and more teachers. Education was impacted by urbanization. As more people were clustered together, more schoolhouses opened. In addition, kids didn't need to work in the fields so they could go to school instead.